This is Unpivot, the show for Excel and Power BI fans and anyone who loves chatting about data. I'm Win Hopkins.
I'm Mark Proctor.
I'm Sue Bays.
I'm Giles Mel in last.
Last. You've been demoted because you've been bad.
I have been bad. I do feel bad.
Tardy Giles.
Very tardy. So
tell the class what you did, Giles.
Tell us.
Well, I very strongly suggested that the four of us should have a meeting about our Global Excel Summit talk that's coming up. And you all very kindly said, yeah, we'll meet 10, what did we say, 10 or 15 minutes early?
15.
We were here 15 because we...
15, were you?
Yeah.
And then I just forgot. So I was having a little breakfast bar thinking, oh, I've got 5 more minutes. I'll just play with Pippa for a minute. And yeah, you'd all been waiting. So sorry. So how long am I in last place for? Is this like an annual thing?
Well, I think I was going to discuss how long a run we've had of no changes, and you've just kiboshed that because
yeah.
Whenever the next one is,
apologise. Unreliable
Let
or
yourself
diva,
down.
one of the two. Yeah,
Down. You've let the listeners down.
Yeah, I'm very
Actually,
sorry.
no, you've given us a gift. I love it when people mess up because you've given us a gift.
I remember you said that about live presentations. So you were like, I like it when things go wrong. I was like, I don't. Why do you like that?
I love it when things go wrong.
Well, you always see when it goes wrong on a live demo, and everyone, then you can see them physically lean in to see how you fix it. And quite often you learn so much more about how people counteract those errors. And I can understand why people record, because it can be more professional and it flows nicer and you've got more security and more, more confidence. But there is something really cool about live coding and live demos. And then if it does go wrong, how you fix it, because in theory, you should be able to fix it. But it certainly makes your adrenaline spike. But it also is... I think it's quite entertaining as someone watching when someone's going live and trying things out.
Yeah.
I did have one the other day when I was doing a session for the Financial Modelling Institute about Power Query. So I built this query up with, budgets and actuals and all this other stuff. All I had to do was drag in my new trial balance into the folder and click refresh. And it wouldn't let me copy and paste. It would just go ba-ding, ba-ding. And I was like, well, what should happen is that whenever I do this and we click refresh, you just have to imagine it does. And then I said, well, I'll just update this bit, and it just wouldn't work. And then just someone put in the at the start of the session, I'd say, if you want to work along with the example, here's the example files. Make sure you unzip the files to a suitable location because it won't work. If you're in the zip folder. Of course, someone puts in the chat, you're in the zip folder, and I was like, oh yeah, everything I told you not to do, I'm now trying to do. So sometimes you do sometimes it is the obvious things, and you do just need someone to be like, yeah, it's this, and you're like, oh yeah.
But generally, when I first started presenting, and that would happen, I'd get more defensive about someone telling me what. I'd be like, no, I know. But actually, you're thinking of so many things, and you are under pressure when you are presenting. It's not like being at home and doing it yourself. And it's really thinking about the audience as helpers, because they want to help you and they want you to succeed. And so now it's I'm much more open to people giving me advice on what I've overlooked as and it's not something, if you weren't doing it for people, you would work it out yourself quite quickly. But when it goes wrong and you're under pressure, you just like, ooh. So yeah.
It's normally something dumb, isn't it? Like you just misspell a function name and you can't see it because you're like, why isn't this working? And then you realise you spelled choose cold with 4 O's.
Yeah. Or you've not put in a capital, and it needs a capital instead of a lowercase. And I've got 2 stories, although I'm going to get distracted now. See if I can remember both. So I did the meetup group presentation the other day and said, right, I'll just to kick things off. Somebody else was presenting. I said, just to kick things off, I'll show you what the new agent mode in Excel can do. So I just set it a task and said, right, we'll come back to that.
And then sort of 50 minutes later, I'm wrapping up the meetup, saying, right, thanks everybody, see you all later. And somebody like a little message popped up. Would you mind showing us what happened with the oh yeah, that would be good. And the Claude model did a great job of what I was trying to do.
Nice.
And then the other one was totally random, not to do with presenting at all, but I was fixing something up today, a data flow, and noticed that I'd spelt a column wrong. And I had that moment between, do I fix my own stuff, right? Not a client stuff. So I was like, do I fix that spelling mistake and then have to go through the next 5 queries and link data models to fix up all the names? Or do I just leave it? And I took the better better route and just left it. So yeah, it's spelled wrong, but that's okay. I'll live with it. Every time I see it, it'll annoy me now from now on. But for me,
or cheat and change it right at the end of all of the steps so that you don't break any of them.
Yeah, there we go. Right, check this out, folks. Hold on. You need to switch to YouTube if you're listening on the podcast. Merch. We've got merch. Prompt bingo t-shirts.
You the t-shirt.
Prompt bingo.
Prompt bingo.
Nice
What's
little
on the hat?
Nice little logo. I'm going to give this hat away, so I haven't taken the sticker off. So, yeah, little Unpivot logo.
It's now got your DNA in it as well. That's worth so much more.
My own sweat.
Yeah,
I'm going to get one of those hats for me because.
Let me just have a little sip of water.
Oh, look at you! What don't you have?
I'm the merch store's best customer. Only best customer. So I'll be giving away some of this stuff at the Global Excel Summit to anybody who's not the T-shirt, because I've now worn that.
You've worn it, yeah.
Some other bits.
I might do a little bit of a shopping spree, but not to give away, just to keep.
Discounts available soon on the Unpivot store. Go to unpivot.bio.link and check out the merch. There we go. That's the promotion. Right. Excellent. News. Any news? Anybody got anything interesting been doing? Sue's doing some runs, as we said. And how's that going, Sue?
I am. So anyone that doesn't know, and if you listen to this, you will know. So Mark's put mute on because he knows I'm going to be here for a while. So 2 weeks on Monday, I'm running Boston Marathon, and then 6 days later, I'm running London, and then I'm doing Saltash half the week after, then Plymouth half 2 weeks after, and then a couple of weeks after that, I'm doing an ultra marathon, and I'm raising money. I've got my places. I secured my places because my time is good. Although for Boston, so Boston has 6 waves of. So a wave is like groups that start at different points. And I'm, my time is 3:49, which is a very respectable marathon time. I'm in wave 5. So the people that are running are so fast that I'm one of the slowest ones. So that was a bit. I was like, oh, but yes. So I've gone through fear. And what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Scared, etc. But now I'm just buzzing. I've finished the hard training. I'm in taper mode. I'm feeling really strong and fit, and I'm super, super excited. And the charity that I'm raising money for is called Jeremiah's Journey, and they're a local charity to where I live. And they support children that suffer bereavement of the not normal kind, someone younger or, not what is expected. And they just give such a fabulous support to children and their families. So I'm supporting them. So every money, because I've paid for my places and I've earned my places and paid for my travel. So every penny will go towards them. And they've got me a vest.
Like a branded vest.
Yeah, branded.
Nice.
So it's really nice. So I'm now getting our next podcast. will be the day before I fly out. So I will be even more excited than I am now, if that's at all possible.
Do you have to sort of carb load and all that sort of stuff?
More protein, really.
Oh, okay.
More protein. You don't need as much as you think you do, but I have to. I'm not allowed to run as much as I would like to, and I'm not supposed to run as fast as I would like. You're almost like, it's called super compensation, where you basically allow all of your training to soak in, and then you almost are like a champagne bottle ready to explode. So
Cool.
I tried my new race shoes. I've got a pair of race shoes with carbon fiber plates, which I've never had before. And I tried them at our park run. I do a park run most Saturdays, 5K Saturday morning, and it's quite hilly. And my PB was 24:28 the week before, because I'm getting quicker. I tried to put my new shoes on. I got 24:08. Crazy. 20 seconds faster over 5K with these shoes.
Is there, in the sort of like professional races,
Yeah.
do they check you? Is there like are there rules on what you're allowed, shoe wise and stuff?
Yeah. Oh no, all the top elites, it makes a major difference in speed, because they're you bounce off them. So as you come forward, they literally spring you up into the air.
Are they allowed those?
Yeah. No.
Oh wow. Are they allowed Heelys? That's what I wear, Heelys.
But they don't last very long. So the aim is that you wear them you only wear them on race day. So I've only worn them once, and then I'll wear them when I race, because otherwise, they're really, well, my pair weren't too bad, but they're quite expensive, and they only last a couple of 100 miles. So it's not something you would run in regularly. You just put them on for race day.
Wow. Like proper stuff. Good.
I've got a friend who used to work for a running magazine, and he used to review shoes, like running shoes.
Oh.
So he would have hundreds and hundreds of pairs of shoes. I mean, sometimes he would literally just turn up to where you are, and he would open his boot, and he'd be like, "Take whatever shoes you like." But I was talking to him a while ago about running shoes, and he said that the shoes that Sue's talking about, you don't want to train in those shoes, because they almost weaken your muscles get used to it, which means that therefore you don't get the benefit when you actually run normally. So therefore you want to run in different shoes, so that when you go to your race, you then get the benefit from that shoe kind of adding to your performance. When if you wore them all the time, you'd get used to it, and then they wouldn't give you as much benefit.
And it's not so good for your ankles and everything to train in them. You want your ankles to be strong and your feet to be strong. So yeah.
I was desperately trying to think of some Excel or Power BI analogy for that, but I can't. Something like when you actually go to do your, doesn't work.
It's like having Marco write your DAX for you, Rach.
No, can't get it. Anybody else? What else? What other news? Good luck with that, Sue. And again, we'll send you off next session.
Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant.
So I can go with some news. So I've got. Have you heard the phrase Sloppelganger before?
Oh,
doppelganger. I've heard.
Sloppelganger. So if you have a doppelganger, it's somebody who looks just like you. If you have a Sloppelganger, it's when AI claims that so this is Mark Proctor's method for something. This is Mark Proctor's this and Mark Proctor's that. So it ends up attributing things to you which you didn't do. And so I had one a few weeks ago where someone said, so it was it on, I think it was on Bing, so it's got Copilot built into that. And it suggested Mark Proctor's method for adding a median calculation to a pivot table. And his email to me said, "You should get money for this if they're using your method." And first of all, I thought, yes, I should get money for this. And then I thought, this isn't my method. I would not suggest that anyone does what they're suggesting there. So what I should actually do is sue for some kind of libel or something like that, because they are blackening my name with the suggestion of what I should do, of what somebody should do. And then there were some calls last week for the MVP program, and a few other people mentioned that they had also had a Mark Proctor Sloppel response. So yeah, I'm now inside. I'm inside OpenAI somewhere, and occasionally it just pops up and goes, "Why don't you try Mark Proctor's method?" Even though it's not my method.
Can you do anything about that? Because that is a bit dodgy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think yes. I mean, ultimately, anything I decide to do would cost more money than I have to actually back it up, right?
Yeah.
And that's the problem with all of this, is that, they can steal all of your content and then attribute things to you that aren't you, which is almost like a double kick.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah, it is.
have I really got the funds and resources to fight anybody on this? And the answer is no. So it was just interesting, the fact that it was a one-off, and then a couple of other people. No, I had a response that said you should use Mark Proctor's method. I was like,
I think the Anthropic authors case is coming to a head. So this is where they've agreed, or I think they've agreed to pay out to certain content authors. And there's a big list. You can actually search for your name or your book to see if they stole it. They didn't steal my book. So then, they'll be paying out a certain amount to every author, apparently, that's got their name as part of the class action. So
wasn't Bill Jelen on that list, was it? Because I seem to remember Bill or somebody.
I'd imagine Ken is in there as well.
Yeah,
I'd have thought so. But
if you've written as many books as Bill, does that mean that this ends up being like the best payday you've ever had
per book? Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Because he's done like 70 books, right? And I think I can't remember that. It's a couple of $1,000s, isn't it? So if you've written 70 books and it's a few $1,000s per book, and they've stolen all of his books. I mean, that could be a really good payday. I mean, ultimately, it probably isn't all of his books, and I imagine it's not a really good payday. But it'd
be interesting.
My news is I continue to play around more with AI. So I don't know if everybody's doing this, but I'm now looking at co-work a little bit. Co-work.
Have you got access to, as in Claude co-work or Microsoft's co-work?
No, so I know it's coming for Microsoft. I don't think I've got access. But again, Faye's kind of trying to drag me into the whole Copilot world, and I'm still resisting. But I have tried Claude co-work, and it was quite interesting, because I don't know how much you've seen of this, but so Claude Chat is it can generate things, but in the app essentially. Co-work can change things, add things, edit things in your folders, or if you link the Chrome add-in, it can do anything online as well, which is a bit nuts. So I've been playing around with that. It is wild. It's kind of unnerving, because Claude now brings up these big, like, oh, by the way, can you just give us access to everything on your laptop, all of your Chrome settings? You're like, oh, okay, yeah, go for it. But it's pretty cool.
So if it can access everything on your machine, what about stuff within your OneDrive or your SharePoint?
I haven't tried that. So I'm guessing once Microsoft comes out with their co-work.
So it can't access OneDrive or SharePoint?
Because
that lives on your machine.
I haven't tried. So on Claude, I don't know. Once Microsoft has its co-work, I'm going to guess it'll have the same sort of admin, Microsoft Graph settings that you've got at the moment with Copilot.
Yeah. And it's available, I think, in the US now. Available in the US now. It hasn't come to my tenant in Australia yet, because I was checking this morning for co-work. So, so it's just like, able to set off and go off and do stuff. And it is Anthropic co-work that, it's the same tech that is going to be Microsoft co-work. So it's just basically agents that can go off and do stuff and connect to Excel files and create them. So basically it's like a big triggering mechanism for organizing and orchestrating stuff, which is scary and potentially really useful, but also messy.
Definitely scary. But the more I delve into this, the more I understand the potential value. If you're a company in the Microsoft ecosystem, the fact that all of these agentic tools are limited to your existing access, that's huge. As long as it works properly, that's amazing.
I think that would be having Claude have access to everything on my desktop would worry me, because it's outside of the Microsoft security window.
Yeah, indeed. There's an interesting article by Arctic DBA, Alexander Arvidsson. Have you come across it?
Yeah, I know Alex. Yeah.
One of his profile pictures on his website is he's got Data Scotland in the background. So I thought you might have come across him.
Yeah.
And his article is entitled "The Fighter Pilot Fallacy," and it's quite interesting because he quotes and links to a bunch of articles, including some ones from sort of published research and stuff like this. And I've read a few of it, but really the concept is that the sort of AI now, because it can, all the agents can run off and do things. You might be doing 3 or 5 things at once, and then just jumping in when they stop, or set off another one, set off a different one, do this, that, and the other, and that therefore triggers a hell of a lot more context switching than we used to. And that causes a lot of mental stress. And fighter pilots, they're the percentage of people who can multitask, which is essentially be able to switch really quickly. But most people can't do it or get exhausted by it really quickly. So the downside of all this automation is that companies are just going to want you to do more with your 8-hour day, but you're switching more. So therefore you're actually doing a burnout a hell of a lot quicker. So it's almost like when you implement AI, you also need to have more space, more spare time, rather than just filling up the day again with more and more and more. So this was quite interesting. You're doing more, but
and also sometimes I find if I use Tablet Editor, sometimes it can automate things so quickly. I almost need it not to do it quite so quickly, so I can actually process what I'm getting it to do in my head. But Alex is great. I think he's a trained pilot as well, so he flies. I think he was where were we when?
Scotland.
When we were abroad, where were we? At the conference.
Oh, Austria.
Yeah, Austria. I think he was there. I think we had a chat with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, that makes no difference to anyone. Where in the country were we when? Or where in the country? But it does make sense, because you do need to have that processing time, don't you, to actually think?
Yeah.
And to switch between one and the other. I quite often have several tasks on the go. Well, things are work, but there is the argument that actually that's not good, because you need to focus on one thing at a time. But it sounds like that's going to be a different way of working for some people. Because you like your clock, don't you, Mark? You put your clock on, and that is that time for that task to do.
I mean, I don't always use the clock. It's not like I don't use it every single minute of every day. And sometimes it might, I've got 2 laptops. If I've got something that I need, if you're trying to process some video and that's going to take a long time and lock up your PC and use a lot of resources, I might do that on one laptop, just set that running, and then I will then work on the other one, and then partway through that task, once that video's done, you'll go process the next one. So there's, so I think for the things which are kind of big chunky tasks, I think that switching, because normally the big chunk, if it's a big chunky processing task, you're not really that involved in it. You're just saying go. It does stuff, or you can do other things, and then when that's finished, you're like, just go again on the next thing. So there's an element of it's not a huge switch in terms of context, but I can definitely see that when people switch between tasks, because I can't remember what the statistic is about the length of time that if you have an interruption, the length of time it is to then get yourself back into the place where you were.
I think Alexander's blog mentioned like up to 20 minutes 25 minutes to fully focus again.
I remember exactly to that point. One of the very first courses I went on, early 20s, was time management and about how to stop interruptions. Because if you have an interruption, it stops you being mentally focused, and you then have to come back and almost switch off your emails. You only look at them at certain points. So it's really interesting.
Luckily, I'm really good at time management, so you'll never catch me being late for anything. Or
Switched over last minute.
Never late if it's in your diary.
Because there's a Harvard review as part of this article link. There's a Harvard sort of study of 200 employees. And I don't know if it's the same one that Mark referred to a few episodes ago, but essentially the AI tools just increased the intensity of what everybody was doing.
Yeah.
And then it sort of just really they just all burnt out and weren't actually that more productive at the end of it, because it was just chucking things on top of other things. Yeah. So beware the way things are going.
I think the focus thing's really interesting, because throughout, if you go back however many years, on your PC you bought software and that was it. You used your software. But now, even if you bought software, as we mentioned before, Microsoft will happily advertise something to you inside their own product. You click on your browser, there's advertising. There's just advertising everywhere. There's all these mechanisms that are all there to distract you from the thing you actually want to do, because your attention is the most valuable thing they can have. So it's almost like your PC becomes like some kind of battleground. Like you're trying to get a task done, you're trying to focus, and everything that you do is like stop focusing. And so it's as much we should be more productive, but we can't be, because all these companies, every app and everything else is trying to grab our attention for something else. So it now reduces our ability to focus and to be efficient, because it's now a marketing platform rather than anything else. There was a quote I saw, and I'm going to paraphrase this and butcher this completely. It was something like it's like all software or all tools fail when they start off thinking about the user, then they move to thinking about how they make more money from users, and then they fail. And so this kind of all software follows this path of it's all about users. That's how do you make more money from users, and because of that, they then fail. And I think that a lot of companies are now in the how do you make more money from users phase. So we'll see whether that comes true.
Copilot's the worst. I was going to say a rude word then, culprit for that. Like it's just honestly, I'm trying to write an email. Copilot's in my face. Like just get out of the area that I want to write the email in. We're trying to set up a meeting. Copilot. Do you want to use Copilot? No, I don't. We set up a meeting.
Yeah.
It is interesting though what you said about the marketing, and so back to my new shoes. Me and ChatGPT, lots of discussions about the type of shoes, giving it the data, telling it where I've run, lots of information for it then to iterate through different sources to then give me the right pair of shoes for me, for my race, based on my other races. And I'm using it more and more and more to help me with decisions on specifically what to buy. So, when they add advertising into it, I thought, well, it's being I tend to think it's being impartial, and it's giving me the best shoe for me based on what I've given it the data on. But how do I know? And at the moment, I don't think it does. But how do I know that I've bought Adidas? How do I know that Adidas haven't paid it to tell me to buy them?
Yeah.
And how do you know that you have influenced it by a previous chat that you've had? But therefore, it then has determined that that's the thing you want to buy.
Yeah, but I wanted to use my chats because I chat to it a lot about running.
Yeah, but you might have chatted about something in the past that just about I'm going to go something else, and you've mentioned this brand, and it goes statistically this brand is important to Sue, so I'm going to give her something that's in line with that brand, even if that's not the best. And
maybe you need to set up a GPT or a project in Claude where part of your context that you feed it is you must be neutral. You must not be influenced by any advertising that you've been paid for.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how you have to do it.
You can do the ghost chats as well, can't you? Or the sort of, just don't train the model and ignore anything you've learned sort of thing. So it would be interesting to see what then comes up.
Yeah.
So
it was brilliant. I gave it all my history of shoes that I've bought, which ones I like, which ones my feet hurt in and stuff. And it went, go for that one.
There you go. All good.
All good.
What about you, Rin? Have you got any news? Did we get to
we had rain. That's news.
That is news.
First rain in 3 months, so that's pretty good. It's novel, and sort of, it is sort of novel. I was chatting to a fellow expat from work the other day, and he was saying sort of, when he first moved here, which is about a couple of years ago, there was the sort of first rain of the year after summer, and there were people sort of, bodyboarding down slopes or getting towed behind trucks on the back of cars and things, with their surfboard, just having a right old laugh. And one of the school, his daughter, who's quite young, the teacher got them out to dance in the rain and stuff. And he was just like, what's going on? It's like, you'll soon be bored of it because it will start raining non-stop now. So rain, there we go. That was exciting. And then I'm teaching my daughter to drive. Oh, sorry. Mark.
Let's not forget that Win is from Wales.
Yeah.
That's what life should be like. I mean, this is a big event.
It's definitely very different in Australia. Teaching my daughter to drive. That's interesting. Getting a bit better now. But I've got the biggest deal is I've got an automatic car, so there's no handbrake. So I've just got literally no control over whether she stops at the sort of roundabout or the road or anything. So it's terrifying, but good.
Yeah.
That's been my.
Is that common in Australia? Is it mostly automatics?
Yeah, generally. Well, it's certainly a lot more than I ever came across in the UK.
I think most people are learning automatic because you can pass a test automatic only, can't you? Is that right?
Yeah, it would be an automatic only. Plus, I've got an electric car, so they're all automatic. So it's sort of that's what. And there's just I reckon there's going to be less and less manuals to learn on. So
I taught my sons or helped my sons pass their driving tests, and it is scary, but you do have the best conversations with them as they get less scary. So you have, you do get to find, it's nice times.
I found that terminology becomes very important when you're conveying what you want someone to do, as in pull onto the side and stop results in like up onto the pavement and stop. My camera gone.
Wind's gone.
Hold on.
We can still hear you. I think.
We can hear you.
Okay, my camera just switched off. Hold on, we're back on. I think it overheated, maybe. Oh, there we go.
Good view of you back. Yeah, I was going to say.
Blurry. I know, that's weird, isn't it? Come on, refocus. Right, I've got to turn it off and on again. Sorry.
Wow, what a great podcast episode.
Love this.
There we go.
There we go. And then saying to go into the middle of the road so you can turn right involves literally driving down the middle of the road. So rather than towards. So words have meaning. So you really some things are lost in translation when you're dealing with a teenager.
Yes. And
that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about your prompt, Win. It's all about your prompt. You need to give it some context.
Damn it. You're right.
Copilot, pre-processing.
It's all about the prompt.
Have you had your news, Giles? Any news?
What was my... did I? I said something. What did I said something.
Yeah, you've been playing with Claude.
Yes. Yeah.
Your new best friend.
New best friend, Claude.
I love Claude. I really love Claude.
Good.
So good.
Right. Given Giles was tardy, we're going to do folks to follow quickly. Have people got
Oh,
some
yes.
folks to follow?
Yeah.
Right, hold on then. Here we go.
These are the folks you gotta follow. They're sharing content you gotta know. We'd recommend them all day long. That's the end of this intro song.
I don't like that one so much. I'm going to delete that one. Right.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to go first. I'm going to say Zoe Douglas, who
Yes.
is a senior. I'm going to get her. Let me bring up her title, otherwise I'll say it wrong. Principal product manager on the Power BI team. Doesn't post a lot on LinkedIn and things, but very sort of in charge of and posting a lot about the new visual features and things in Power BI. So from my world, that's really quite interesting stuff about all these new things that are changing and how it looks and feels and how the end user interacts with the visuals and what's capable of. So I'm definitely following Zoe. So that's my recommendation if you want to keep on top of the latest announcements.
I think that's a good call, Win.
Thanks. Mark?
I'm going to go for Richard Sumner. So Richard is an Excel consultant. He lives near me in Peterborough. I've met him for a coffee. He's a South African, but he's an Excel consultant who effectively he's got a framework, and I love frameworks, right? He's got a framework that effectively it doesn't rely on new Excel features. So he's not using dynamic arrays massively or anything else, but therefore he's got a framework that all those pieces fit together, and it gives a solid solution that works. So often people will advocate for various new features and things, and he will fight back and go, no, you don't need those new features. So I think while I would disagree with him on probably everything that he would advocate, I agree with him the fact that he's got a framework where everything fits together, right? Because so many people are like, oh, use XLOOKUP, use this, use that, use these bits, use those bits. But nobody really knows how those bits fit together to get the best result. So to think about how those things fit together to give you a complete solution that works every time, that gives you reliable outputs, that's where I think what's missing in a lot of kind of LinkedIn content, because it's just picking random features. So I love the fact that Richard's got a workflow that uses older technologies. It doesn't necessarily rely on new things, and he gets to build something that is reliable and stable. When I would tend to use more modern features, but equally, I've got my own workflow that creates something that hopefully is reliable and stable. And I think that is a nice position, because it's not about individual features; it's about how all those things fit together for something that works.
Do you want me to go with mine next while he sorts out his camera?
Yeah, go on, Sue.
Go for it.
So I'm going to suggest Laura Graham-Brown, who is a Microsoft MVP data platform and power platform. And she has a blog called Hatful of Data. And she does great little short clips on how to do things using Power Platform and Power BI. And really useful to follow for anything Power BI and Power Platform related. That would be my suggestion.
Very good.
Nice. And we've actually lost Win.
Giles.
Lost
So, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so I'll throw in a name that I think we all know of, Craig Hatmaker. So he's the guy behind what's called 5G modeling in Excel. And I've known Craig for ages. He's done a lot of stuff with us at Full Stack, and he's spoken at the FMI community and things like that. So he's really on far over the spectrum of lambdas, and his whole 5G methodology is about pre-built lambdas and how they can really help you be more efficient and reduce risk and all of this. He's probably in terms of my own position, it's probably a little bit different to his. I don't totally agree with some of the hey, this all makes it completely easier, but I still fully support his view and respect it, and totally get where he's coming from. So if you haven't seen that, and especially if you're interested in like more advanced modern Excel, I think Craig is somebody that's worth following.
I would just add that the 5G, the framework he's got for 5G, while he aims it at lambdas, it also works for kind of any custom functions that you've got. So that's great for Power Query custom functions. I haven't tried any of the UDFs in Power BI, but anything that kind of that requires parameters and then gives a result. If it gives you inline documentation, if you don't enter all of the parameters, it gives you more documentation about what things you need to do. So I think the framework as a whole goes further than just lambdas. So I think Craig's method of looking at that is fantastic.
Excellent. I think we're going to have a little quiz on how many times Mark said framework in this episode.
Framework.
Okay. That was everybody, wasn't it? Sue, you did yours when I was trying to...
Laura Graham Brown.
Laura,
yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, question of the week.
It's that time in the Unpivot show where we pose a question and tell you what we know. We may be right, we may be wrong. It's just an excuse to play this song. It's the question, it's the question, it's the question of the week. It's the question, it's the question, it's the question of the week.
Okie dokie. It's a bit of an open...
Yeah, can I just say thank you, everyone, for having 2 or 3 question of the week jingle last time, when I was editing.
You can get your revenge this week if you want to. I'm not sure. No, we haven't agreed who's doing it.
Yeah.
So, Easter weekend as well. Okay, so the question is, basically, how has Q1 gone? Has it gone according to plan? What new things have you done? What sort of achievements? What's your look back, feedback? Q1 review?
I've done some research.
Oh, Sue, what have you done?
So I looked at what you all said for your goals on our first... So on our first session back in January, where we're setting our goals for 2026. So I've got them listed here if you would like.
Yeah, can you share? Because I have no recollection of what those were.
Right, so Giles, your main goal was that you were going to stop being grumpy. And you were going to be positive about AI.
You started
yeah. I lasted 2 months. So I did 2 months, and actually in the last week I wrote an entire article called "The Cesspit Gets Deeper" LinkedIn. So I think we can safely say I'm back in grumpy zone, and so actually, ironically, very happy about it. So that's good. But definitely more positive about AI.
Brilliant. Mark, you said you were going to say no to more things, that you were going to work less, and that you were going to achieve a 147 in snooker.
Oh, that's right.
I remember that.
Forgot about that snooker one, you know. So I can't say that I have or haven't said no to more things, although I will say that in May I've got like 6 presentations to do on various things. So I've clearly not said no enough at various points. So I've got a very busy month in May. I've got meetup groups and other things and lots of stuff going on. And that's all come at one go. So I clearly haven't said no at some point then. What was so the 147 in snooker, I have not made any progress with that. I've not held a snooker queue. I have not been into a venue that even has a snooker table.
Have you watched any snooker?
I've not watched any snooker. I mean, I've got a whole year to implement this. So I think on the 31st of December, I'm just going to rock up at some snooker place and just do it. I think that's probably the easiest way to tackle that, I think.
Yeah. You did say in your defense that you wanted to get 147, but you couldn't see yourself playing snooker to achieve that. So, and when do you want to know what yours was? You got 2.
Yeah.
So the first one was you had started meditation. and that you were really enjoying that. So you wanted to keep that going.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
And the second one was that you were going to be more in the moment and stop being such a squirrel.
Oh,
Of
no,
chasing
that hasn't changed either. Oh, no. Okay,
Mine was,
good
of
to know.
course, Boston and London, and to stop being quite so squirrely and be more present. So Boston and London, yes, I've trained as much as I can do. Stop being a squirrel, no.
Yeah.
It's like, Neb, ooh, get up, ooh, go, Pala, ooh.
Was one of mine saying yes to more things? I can't remember.
Yes, that was
Mark
it.
was like
Sorry.
no to more things. When you said that, I suddenly thought, oh, I said something along those lines. Yeah,
yes,
that hasn't.
Yeah, you were going to say yes to more things so that you were more uncomfortable. You were to make yourself more uncomfortable because you'd gone to an event. Rugby?
Probably pushed in complete the other direction. I think I'm prioritizing my own comfort more than ever. So I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest, to be frank. Loving my own comfort. So yeah, there you go.
I've got a new goal that I'd love to share with you. So when I was on my first motorhome trip and we were in Bruges, we were met by one of Faye's friends who works for Microsoft out in Europe somewhere. He had the most epic beard, guy called...
I had noticed yours was...
And I said to Faye, I was like, that's it. I'm not shaving again until I have that beard. So that the challenge has commenced. I did epic Viking beard.
It was getting a bit longer.
Oh, yeah.
You've been hanging out with Paul Barnhurst too much as well.
I don't know if I'll ever get to Paul Barnhurst level, but the goal is there.
Okay.
I'm prepared to look scruffy for the next 6 months in achieving this goal.
Excellent. I reckon you might do that. I reckon. You sound determined on that front.
I am.
Was there any other things people want to flag from this last quarter that they're disappointed with, proud of, or just has happened?
Well, I think I probably mentioned this before. So I do like a 12-week year system. Have I mentioned this before? So effectively, you set goals in 12-week sprints. So the 12 weeks finished, and I'm now in what I call the reset period, which is where you get to reassess what goals you want for the next 12 weeks. Because it means that you don't set goals too far out that you never complete. So I think I've achieved around 30% of the goals I set for my first 12 weeks because I wanted to redesign our course platform, and I gave myself like 4 weeks for that, and I now realize that was ridiculous. At the start, I had no idea, but that's fine because then I've now there's an end in sight. I can finish that, and then the goals that I've got that I didn't do, I can then reassess those, and then they will go on to the next 12 weeks worth of goals. But I think at the start, when you just don't know how long stuff will take, or the involvement, or how difficult something is, there's a book that's got the title. I haven't read the book. I just like the title. The title is, it's Ready, Fire, Aim is the name of the book. So effectively, you get ready, then you just fire, and then you just, if you've got an infinite number of bullets, you can then just aim to where you want to go. Because at the start, no one's got enough knowledge about something to be, there's so many caveats and so many things that can come along that actually you're better just to start and head in a direction, and then over time you can then correct course for where you actually need to be. Because if you spend so long planning, this is what we're going to do, we're going to go over here, this is the plan, and then on day one you'll be like, nobody wants to buy this thing, or whatever it happens to be. If you go too tight with a plan, then actually you get thrown off course straight away. So that's often a method that I try and take. But it does mean that I've got no idea how long things will take, but I know that that's something that needs to be completed, so that becomes a priority.
There you go. Anybody else? Sue, Giles, what have you? Any?
Well, mine. Sorry, going on the running was. It's a very structured 18-week plan, and I'm at week 15 now. 16, week 16, and it's been really interesting, the structure, and no alcohol since December 25, which is, I know, really quite interesting. So I'm so proud of myself for actually having achieved that and followed it and not breaking, but also being able to run my life and my business. And it's been brilliant being able to manage everything and still achieve both work and run. So I'm really proud of that.
I would probably just throw in, again, I probably talk about it all the time, but just getting the Excel off the road thing going. I remember mentioning this new secret project to the three of you late last year. Oh, I'm doing this thing. So that's been really cool. Where we managed to meet up with students in Amsterdam University on our first trip. Got a Substack account now, which just means I can write even longer articles whinging about things, which I'm really happy about. So yeah, it was just nice to see something that was just a very random idea come to fruition, and yeah, see where it goes.
Where's the next stops in Excel on the road?
It's the UK tour next. So we actually, for a couple of reasons, we've just paused. Bizarrely, there's just actually quite a lot of potential work coming out of all of this. So Faye and I are just trying to figure out how we coordinate that. But also being in a motorhome is quite hard work physically. So like actually trying to figure out whether it's always motorhomes or something else is going to be a big part of this. But once we're back and we've figured out how we manage all of our work, it'll be up towards, we'll go to Edinburgh eventually over the next few weeks, take some stops, Leeds, Liverpool, and then we will be, I think we are going to come to a Countex, Mark. So Faye's going to be there. We've confirmed she will be supporting you. I will be trying to put you off. And then we will be at GS together. We will go to Amsterdam with a bunch of people for the esports stuff and onwards from there. So yeah, lots of planned.
Are you motorhoming the whole UK leg, or is it?
I don't think we will. And this was the thing. Again, it was a really useful experience doing the first leg to Bruges and Amsterdam, because actually work-wise and just even trying to just not have your back give up on you is quite hard.
Plus, maybe a second mortgage on the fuel bill now as well.
Yeah,
I forget.
My God. So that was it. Actually, another thing I'm proud of. Did I mention this before? Like refilling the gas,
yes,
not the liquid. That was definitely up there with like scary moment. Didn't blow up. Brilliant.
Very good.
What about you?
Yeah, I've finally got my Excel online course up and running with a soft, sneaky launch to a few people. And then we'll be doing a bit more advertising of that in coming months. And what else has gone on? Not too much. Surviving driving lessons. That's a major achievement, I think. Without killing each other, either in the car or out of the car. And yeah, I think that's about it really for me. Watch some good TV shows. Oh, lovely TV. Love a bit of telly. You guys watch much?
What are you watching?
Okay, I wrote some down. Paradise, excellent. Disney Plus. Umbrella Academy.
Oh, I like Umbrella Academy.
The Pit. HBO.
Yes, I watched The Pit when I was over in the States for Chicago, and they haven't got it in the UK. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
okay,
loved a bit of
Let me match The Pit with The Good Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Netflix, The Good Doctor.
Right. Good. Okay. Top tips. There you
go. Industry. Has anybody seen Industry? It's a bit raunchy, not going to lie, but it's about people in investment banking in London, mainly.
Okay.
BBC, 4 seasons, I think. Very good.
Sort of like criticizing the financial models when they pop up on the screens at people's desks, just going.
So, no, do you know what I did?
Financial models showing. models of a different type, possibly.
There was a bit of that, but also no, they don't go to the extent of like showing the spreadsheets. That would be quite funny if they did.
It's like folks who sort of see, you know, when somebody hacks into a system and they're sort of typing in DOS or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
You just you can't take your mind away from it if you sort of know what it's really like. You know, just like
We should. Do you all remember? Who is it? Kelly Rowland, the classic sending a text on Excel. You seen that video?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Cool. So what were we reckoning? Quick one then. Next 3 months, Sue will have stopped running.
No, I won't.
Sue will have got, right, these are my predictions. Sue will have got sick of running in 3 months' time. Here's my wild. Have you guys heard of Polymarkets? Basically, you can now bet on Polymarket. You can now basically do a peer-to-peer bet on anything in the world you want. And it's been
I wouldn't bet on that.
On like how many posts Elon Musk will make today and stuff like this. So this is my Polymarket bet. So Sue's going to get sick of running. Giles will have shaved his beard.
Never. I look like an egg. I can't do that.
Yeah. Just the moustache. We'll just go the tash. And I reckon Mark might grow a beard. There you go. Those are my three ones out of the ground there.
I'll have them.
No. Okay. Not gonna happen. All right. Okay. I think we're good. Is everybody any closing comments from anyone? Anything? No. Good.
No, I'm hungry.
Happy to be alive. And I like a good framework.
Apologies for camera sort of nonsense.
Framework. That's what we need. Frameworks.
Good framework for life.
Set yourself a framework.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I went for a run with my dog this morning. I went swimming and then went for a run with my dog, and all of the blossom is out on the trees, and it's beautiful. So, and it's a lovely sunny day in the UK. So happy spring, everyone.
Happy spring. Enjoy whatever you were doing while listening to this, and flick on to the next podcast. All right.
Yeah.
Catch you all later, folks. Bye.
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 Framework.